So we have with us Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, who represents Pakshi Kanke Kanam Federal Constituency of Plateau State. He's also the Chairman House Committee on Navy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start with your activities. What are the current priorities of the House Committee on Navy under your leadership?
Well, we have a lot of activities. We have a lot of naval units, formation, and commands across Nigeria that we are intending to visit. We have visited some, particularly the Western Naval Command in Lagos, where we visited the naval dockyards. We visited the Nigerian Navy Beecroft. We visited Naval Navy Town in Ojo, where we see some of the activities and the physical project going on. We visited the air wing of the Nigerian Navy that provides surveillance to the ship whenever an operation is being carried out. We visited a lot of naval unit and formation across the Western Naval Command. But that is not enough. Even in the Western Naval Command, I cannot tell you that we have done a robust oversight that we will say that we have suffocated and asked question to the best of our ability. We spent 4 days there, and we cut our oversight function to come back and put our heads together to visit other formations. So right now, plan is underway for us to visit the Eastern Naval Command, the Central Naval Command, that put together Bayelsa, Delta, Warri, Port Harcourt itself, Pathfinder, and as well as the as well as the nav track in Port Harcourt. Then we will proceed to Calabar and a lot of NNS Jubilee, a lot of formation, including the Admiralty University in Delta State, as well as the Naval Military School in Akwa Ibom. So we are putting together a structure, an itinerary that will make it easier for us to go around all those places. But definitely it will take place within 2 different oversight functions, where we spend 1 week in the entire Eastern Naval Command and part of the Central Naval Command. Then we do the logistic command and we will return. By the special grace of God, we have done some certain oversight function. We visited the Navy headquarters. So before the budget, we will definitely make sure that we have done, if not 90%, 80 to 90% visitation. Not only to visit, to go and interact, laugh and live, to visit, look at the project, ask questions, look at the level of implementation, request for the financial spending so far regarding to those projects. We compare it to the fiscal thing we have seen. Then we report back. By the special grace of God, we are doing that. In-house here, we have been able as a committee, a chairman in particular, to push forward some certain bills that will ensure Navy equally have some certain agencies under it, just like in the past. We have done the Admiralty University bill, the president signed. It is now a standard and recognized university by the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have done the Hydrographic Agency. Today is an agency that is recognized globally and it is functioning effectively. We are considering too, just like other sister agencies like the Army and the Air Force will have the Air Force Technology in Kaduna, let us equally have some certain agencies under Navy so that it will reduce the overdependence on the overhead fund that is being allocated to the Nigerian Navy headquarters. It is through the overhead fund that either to this time, the Navy fund the university in Delta, the Navy fund the Admiralty Hydrography Department, the Navy fund over 22 schools under it. But if we harmonize NAFTRAC into one agency and it is signed by Mr. President, it reduces the overdependence on the overhead allocation of the Nigerian Navy to be funding some of those agencies so that whatever is allocated to the Navy for its overhead, it will now be channeled towards security maintenance and other strategic activities that is important for the Nigerian Navy. So this is just a summary. We have received petition against naval officers, senior naval officers, junior naval officers. We have received complaint by the general public about so many cases of inhuman treatment to some of the Navy personnel and as well as harassing civilian communities. We have received complaint regarding to recruitment process of the Nigerian Navy as well as so many housing issues and what have you. So, by the special grace of God, coming back from those oversight, we will sit down to consider some of those petitions written against the Nigerian Navy to see how we will come to the aid of those people that seems to have legitimate complaint and they have taken it to us.
Quite interesting. So, how is the committee also addressing challenges related to maritime security in Nigeria?
That is what we are doing. For you to go on oversight, like we've been to Lagos, we spend a whole day surveying the maritime domain in Lagos. Some of our oversight is being conducted by speedboats. We don't conduct most of our oversight by, using our SUVs and what have you. No, you enter the water. When you enter the water, you will be able to see how it is difficult for ships coming to Nigeria within our ports authorities, where it is designated for ships to come and park, offload, and some of you. You will see how congested the place is. Two, you will equally see how it is difficult for some of those bigger ships to maneuver and get to the parking space because of the sinking ships. Some ships got damaged. They will stay in the water. They now sink inside the water. They constitute hazard to the new ships that are coming. A lot of platform got damaged. You are coming with speed. Navy are going for rescue operation to maybe save a ship from pirates. And there is a bunkery taking place somewhere. You want to cross the water to go. Because of the fact that you don't know what is beneath the water, you will follow where a platform was sink, and now you damage your own platform. You cannot pass there. Just like you have potholes. It's just like you have a big bridge, and you are coming in the night with trailer, and you don't have lights, and you come with speed. Definitely you will die. Your conductor will die. The people, you will lose a lot of things. So this thing that is happening on our highways, it is equally happening in our maritime domain waterways. As a result of that, we procure a Nigerian Navy ship Lana. Nigerian Navy ship Lana is a hydrographic ship that is vested with the responsibility of conducting hydrographic survey of the water, of the maritime environment. And that is why we established National Hydrographic Agency of Nigeria, headed by a hydrographer of the Federation, a bill funded by me, to be able to have an agency in Nigeria that is vested with the responsibility of giving nautical information to ships that are coming, of designing the path that a ship can follow. You can only do that if you have a bigger platform, a bigger ship that is procured by Nigeria, called Nigerian Navy Ship Lana, where you pass the water, you conduct hydrographic survey. They can see more than 60 to 100 kilometers beneath the water, from the surface of the water, to see that you can identify, is there anything that will constitute hazard to the ships and what have you. You give information and you design, you'll be able to provide a pathway for the ships that are coming to transact business in Nigeria. So this is one of the major steps that we are not even shouting about it, that we have done as a committee. I single-handedly sponsor the bill. The agency is established. The agency is being funded by government, and the Nigerian Navy ship Lana is busy conducting a lot of hydrographic survey to be able to give clarity to ships of what is beneath water in Lagos, Western Naval Command, water in Port Harcourt, water in the Bayelsa, water in Warri, water in where, to tell you, follow here, don't follow here. There is thing that need to be evacuated here. There is thing that if you follow here, it becomes. So we have done that. In addition to a lot of operation that I don't think I am even qualified to say better, more than the naval headquarters. They are conducting a lot of operation and to ensure that oil bunkering, piracy, vandalization of oil pipelines and what have you have been reduced to the barest minimum. And from the information regarding to oil production, the output of production of crude oil, you will say without any fear of misrepresentation by anybody that the Nigerian Navy on that part have done its best to reduce maritime crime to the barest minimum.
You've responded to all my questions. Okay, so let me go back to your constituency. What major constituency project are you doing for your people?
A lot. I'm doing road projects, construction of palaces, befitting medical health care, I cannot count them. I have more than 37 ongoing projects. I cannot count them. In addition to intervening in ensuring that, yes, I have personal foundation, Gagdi Support Foundation, that take responsibility of medical bills, serious medical bills amounting from 1 to 7 to 17 million. I have done that. And we are doing that. I have a water project that I have been able to provide water across almost all the pooling unit in my constituency, except about 40 something that is remaining on drill, which we are trying to get the equipment to those locations and ensure that water. I don't think there is constituency that you will go. I'm not beating my chest that in terms of bringing water at the doorstep of the people, that you will have the people at the local level having water like Panshinkanke Kanam, to provide water to over 700 locations within 5-6 years. I think we have done well in ensuring that our people have potable drinking water. We have done well to build medical health facility that very soon we are going to commission them and ensure that we have about 14 and ensure that they are functional and ensure that the people have hospital at their doorstep. We will hand them over to state government because running a modern primary health care is not the prerogative of the national government, it's the prerogative of the state government. So in as much as we belong to different political platforms with the state governor, we are going to donate those facilities to them to see going forward how they will be able to man it, how they will post medical personnel like doctors, like nurses and what have you. So we are doing that. In addition to building schools to communities that don't have school, we are doing some of those things. We've done so many that I don't think I have even envisaged that this conversation is going to be about me telling you what I have done to my constituency. Otherwise, I have so many. We've paid school fees, NECO and WAEC, to students of my constituency, irrespective of political platform, in the entire 3 local governments. In all the secondary schools of the 3 local governments, NECO and WAEC, son of ABGAPA's chairman, son of PDP chairman, son of PDP woman leader, son of APC, we have done that so that we will bring succor, a little bit financial relief to some of the families of our constituents that are going through teething trouble to ensure that their kids and their wives go to school.
So how would you respond to the issue of insecurity on the plateau? I know this has been, ongoing, and it has been a front burner of national discourse. What are you doing, and what are stakeholders doing to ensure we bring this to?
I am lost here. I'm lost, particularly. I am speaking with pains that people are selfish. And when you speak, people want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear what you are saying, how you are feeling, why you are saying what you are saying. I am shocked and flabbergasted that because you have leaders, elected leaders, either governors, houses of assembly, councillors, chairmen, nobody wants anything to be said against those leaders simply because of tribalism or religiosity. I am not elected to talk based on religious sentiment or based on tribal sentiment. I'm elected to speak based on humanity. And when I'm talking, I don't look at myself being a Muslim. I don't look at the next person to me, my best friend, being a Christian. I look at humanity. What is affecting the people that have elected me to represent them? I just returned from the village, visiting communities that have been under attack for more than 5-6 years. But you can't see that in a proper security situation at the state level. If I have left Saudi Arabia some years back to rush back home without performing Umrah simply because a community was attacked in my federal constituency, that over 147 people were killed, and the attention of government toward those communities is nothing to take home about. When you hear, I'm not saying that attack is fine. I'm not saying that communities in Plateau are not being attacked. But Garga area is a community that in one day, 147 people were killed. I don't think that have ever happened recently. Forget about the previous crisis in Plateau. From the last 7 years till now, you cannot pinpoint any community that in one day, mass burial of 147 people was conducted, except in Garga area. But how have government at that level been able to respond to such situation? Do you even hear the name of community when people in government are talking? I am lost that my people are not even being considered to be part of the people that stay in this country or in Plateau. When there is any attack in any part of Plateau, I respond in solidarity. I speak on the floor of the house in solidarity. But I will listen to TV, television, monitor program at the state level in Plateau, communities that for second class, third class traditional rulers are being kidnapped and killed, communities that in every 7 days, more than 20, 15, 10 people are kidnapped, communities that in every 5 days, their cattle are being restored, communities that in every 1 month, a village will be attacked by bandits to carry all their small shop, the bread, the biscuits, the water. Somebody is selling pure water and something. Bandit will storm those communities and carry them away to the forest nearby and provide it to the people they kidnap and equally to their family. And we are not talking about those people. It's again very unfortunate that even when I visited home, this thing happened recently. I had this today to speak to the people I represent. Very, very unfortunately, I donated 30 million for the victims, not only of kidnapping. If I say victims here, people that their house have been burned, their shop has been vandalized and the properties in the shop is being carried away. From petty traders, you see them like they are sick in the head. Because the little businesses they have been destroyed completely. They don't have. I provided that 30 million to communities that cannot go to their farm and farm. They don't have what to eat. It wasn't money for people to share to family. The money was meant to provide what? Food and other materials that people can no longer have access to it and donate to those victims. And the national chairman too gave me 15 million to support them. Professor Nentawe Yilwada. But the same people in the community, because you does not involve them in it, they didn't understand even. And another 30 million, making 75 million, that 30 million was not donated to that community. It was donated to the entire local vigilante in the local government to aid them in buying torchlights, small arms that will help, legitimate arms that will help protect them for a quote across the entire local government. Someone is sitting within the ambit of his office in Abuja that maybe I decided not to tell him what I am up to, did not get full information of the purpose the money was donated to, is using Kanam Development Association to issue statement that money donated in those communities are the reason why bandits are attacking the people to kidnap them. Instead of appreciating the person that donated the money, you are casting aspersion as the person. The person donated this money for intervention to victims. 30 million and 15 million from the national chairman. Are you with me? You have put a committee in place to identify vulnerable people and affected people and see, is it bag of maize they will buy and give you? Is it bag of rice they will intervene and give you? The person decide that because people have been killed and kidnapped, they have not gone to farm. We should not donate anything to them that they will buy food stuff and eat. We should keep money and. I don't know the kind of people we have and the kind of community we live in. And the worst thing is, the organization that the cadre he is using, this is an organization that from its formation, there have never been accountability, there have never been election, there have never been Congress meeting to account for all donations, all assistance given to cadre, to even the cadre orphanage school. For the past 1 year, I have been the one paying the salaries of the entire staff of that place. You have not found it worthy to call people and tell them that as cadre, we have been in place for years. Let us account for what we have been getting to build school. How have that money been utilized? People need to know some of these things. You sit like it is an inherited organization. You don't want election, you don't account for anything. But someone will go and donate money to vulnerable people. Set in a committee for them to get food stuff and share to them. Donate part of the money to the local vigilante. You are talking because you don't have information of what was done. That speaks volume that our people are what they are. Some of our people are what they are. But to say the least, I'm not deterred. I'm not this. Nobody can scare me. I will continue to represent my people and make sure that I have taken decision that is in their best interest, not in the best interest of anybody. And gone are the days when I will wait for someone that if I am doing something, I must explain myself to somebody, or he must be part of what I am doing before I do it. Leadership comes from God. I'm not scared of anybody. My people are what I am concerned about, not anybody that can write tautological English and begin to post on the pages of whatever.
Nigeria at 65, Independence Day is here. How far have we fared?
Hi. We are here. We are here. I don't want to tell you I'm deep. If I'm to look Nigeria in a very continental perspective, within, we have tried, we have not tried. We have tried because we have done our best. We have had leaders that have wished Nigeria to be one of the Singapore today. But their intention and effort is being suffocated by international, that is intercontinental interferences. You don't limit Nigeria's progress or Nigeria's problem in times of corruption, in terms of non-development, in terms of being a developing country for years without developing, to Nigerians alone. There are people that don't want Nigeria to develop. There are people that knows that Nigeria is one of the brain box and heartbeats of West Africa and Africa. There are people that knows that the more you allow Nigeria transform, Africans will be independent, no any interference, and all other African countries are going to be who they are because we have the natural resources, we have the human resources, we have the capacity to be the United States of Africa, just like the United States of Nigeria. So the colonial masters, without any fear again, are scared. There is serious interference, either through direct interference, either through lying to you that they have NGOs that are coming to help you in Maiduguri, and they begin to rent hotels of 30 years because they are projecting that Nigeria should be in the crisis in the next 30 years. And you wonder, why should an NGO go to Maiduguri, go to Zamfara, go to Plateau, and rent a building for 30 years? Is it that you don't want the crisis? Are you there to find an end to the crisis, or you are there to project that you will stay there in the name of peace building for the next 30 years? You don't know what they move with inside their cars. You see them with all mark of whatever, moving from one bush to another. They are above our laws. Nobody check them. Do they move with weapons? Do they move with medical help to bandits or to Boko Haram? Nobody check them. So you cannot say that. Even our problem is within the accusation that people are postulating to the Nigerian leaders. I see it beyond that. We don't breathe. Our nose is blocked and our mouth is sealed and our ears is dumbfolded by foreign policies, foreign interferences.
So what about the present administration? We talk about subsidies gone, we talk about tax reform, we talk about state policing. How would you score all of this?
Present administration have done well. I will start talking because I think I don't say my mind, people don't. I will start talking. Present administration have done wonderfully well. Caught me anywhere. Subsidy was removed, isn't it? I am aware that because of the removal of subsidy, state governors, a state that used to get 4 billion subvention, now get 8 to 10 billion subvention. I am aware of that. Why are you people not harassing the governors to tell you what they are doing with the duplication of allocation by the Federal Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission to their own state that is not commensurate with the level of development going on in some of those states? The president have done his best. Nigerians now, the poor Nigerians are complaining against the president because removal of fuel subsidy and other economic policies have added to their own hardship. But the positive aspect is the money have been released to state governors to ensure that dividend of democracy is at the doorstep of their own people. The president have come up with so many palliative programs by the federal government in addition to a lot of fiscal projects going on across the country. There are palliative measures put in place by government to ensure that the suffering is reduced to the barest minimum. You have the farmers borrowers program. You have the students anchored students borrowers program. You have the anchored program. You have farmers intervention. You have money in this bank meant for small and medium enterprises. You have household donations. That money is being transferred to household. That is part of the commitment of the federal government that nobody is talking about it. What of the state government that the same money, 50% of that money have been allocated to you. You used to collect 4 billion, now you collect 10 billion. And you are not doing even the job that is commensurate to the 4 billion that you used to collect. And nobody is talking. What are those palliative measures put in place by state governors as a result of increase in their own allocation, just like federal government have done, that is being done across 36 states of the federation? Tell me. And nobody is talking about it. Everybody, Asuwaju, Asuwaju, Asuwaju. Nobody is thinking that Asuwaju have sat down to put together ways and manner upon which money will be available with its own attendant consequences, yes, but the money was available. The man did not sit on the money, shared to the state government. One of the month that the highest money shared in this month or last month in the history of Nigeria. No money have ever been shared to the state government like it was shared. But it was all over the media. But how are we holding those governors accountable? Where are our state assemblies? What are they saying? What are they saying? Where are the stakeholders that are finding comfort in abusing and casting aspersion at Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on daily basis in the pages of newspaper and on the screen of TV? Do they have states? Are they aware of the increase in allocation of funds to those states? What are they saying about their governors? Is it because they are in the payroll of those governors that they will not come out to say that governors must act just like the national government have acted? Everybody will carry his trash and dump it on the president, on the federal government. Nobody knows because you are scared of the governors. And this comes to the issue of state policing. If our leaders, so-called leaders, cannot talk to their state governors to perform, but they will come to national TV and talk to president what they want to say because of political differences. We don't trust Nigerian stakeholders because they don't talk to their state governors. I have not seen any state that have robust opposition like the president is having that kind of opposition at the national level. Let them do that at the state level and see whether this country is not going to be fixed. How about local government autonomy? State want to be autonomous. They are autonomous, but they don't want the local government at the local level to be autonomous. Why? You are asking me about state police. We have INEC. Assuming INEC is national police. But INEC, no matter how you describe INEC have conducted election in Nigeria that you have opposition governors. There is no election that is being conducted in Nigeria that opposition party will not win more than 10 states of the 36 states of the federation. Are we together? We have 36 states in Nigeria. Tell me one election that is being conducted that opposition in Nigeria by INEC, election is conducted by INEC that opposition in Nigeria have not won over 10 states. National Assembly, over 100 seats out of the 360 or 4 whatever. But tell me one state in Nigeria that the State Independent Electoral Commission conduct election that you have 2% of the members of the legislative arm of government at the local government level. One. I need one. Mention one. One. Tell me again, one, irrespective of APC, PDP, ABGA. I'm not talking about party now. I'm APC, but including APC state. Mention one state governor that conducted election that 2% of the members of the local legislative council is won by opposition. Tell me one state, including my APC state, that election, local government is conducted is by the state governor, that you have one or two local government council chairman that is won by the members of the opposition. It means, therefore, that you will rate INEC at the national level more transparent and more better than the State Independent Electoral Commission. Now, if the governors cannot handle State Independent Commission fairly, they produce the local government election results they are producing, including the APC governors. How will you trust them with the power to control AK-47 at the state level? I have, in my thinking, in my opinion, I am entitled to. If they cannot handle State Independent Electoral Commission well, and even allow opposition that win election to win, and do relatively fair election like INEC is doing, they take all the times, take everything for themselves, strangulate opposition, chase this one, arrest that one, announce the result that they want to announce. This is not being happening in the national election. How do you give him state police? What do you think he will use? If you give him civil power of conducting election and he use it militarily, what if you give him the military powers?
So for you, state police is a no-no.
It's no, it's a no. And these are my reasons. In addition, we had community policing in the present Police Act. Why can't we strengthen the community policing? Do you know community policing? Go and read the act. It gives power to community to nominate, to provide community vigilante that will be part of the police to liaise with our regular police. What is the difference between that and the state police? I'm not a zombie that follow statement like that. If I'm talking, I have reasons. If we have an act that recognizes community policing, and the community themselves are the people to produce the community representative in the armed section of the police, why are we not trying to implement that? It is there in the existing law. And we have committees at different level of the community policing. We have committee at the local government level. We have committee at the federal constituency level. We have the committee at the senatorial district level. The committee at the local government level is being shared by the paramount ruler of that local government. The committee at the state level is jointly shared by commissioner of police and the chairman of the council of chief of the traditional institution of that local government, of that state. That community policing that is in the present Community Act is more powerful in terms of giving community the power to police their own situation than creating state police. And when you have those two agencies, federal and state community policing, interfering together, working together, people will not take laws in their own hands. When you give a place to the traditional ruler in the present Police Act to play a role in policing of its own community, people will not take laws in their own hands. So these are my reasons.
Okay, Honorable. So we move to the National Assembly where you represent as a lawmaker. How has the parliamentarian fared since 1999, talking independence? I have, to the best of my ability, I can only talk about myself. I've done my best. And I've spoken to you about my constituency. National Assembly have statutory committees that can x-ray from independence till date the performance of National Assembly, and they can give you answer. But to the best of my ability, I have done what I can do. I have made laws. The primary responsibility of any parliament is to make laws for order, peace, and good governance. I have more than 5 bills that have been assented to and are functional, that single-handedly, I didn't co-fund it with any member. I did it from beginning till the end. I have made laws that have direct bearing.
The Police Act that I'm talking to you that recognized community policing, I was the one that repealed and reenacted that act. And I am asked by the Constitution to make laws for peace, for order, and for good governance. That Police Act have answered those three issues.
So
I am a co-founder of Armed Forces Act. I have done hydrography. I have done military university. I have done a university in Plateau, Federal College of Education, Pension, now Federal University of Education. As a lawmaker, from the name lawmaker, I've made a lot of laws that did not die. They are there, existing, surviving. So I've done well. And I believe some of my colleagues too have done same. National Assembly have done well. Of course, I will tell you again without fear or favor that some of the problems being faced by Nigeria, if we members of the National Assembly will do our job to the best of our ability without compromise, I assure you some of the problems will be nowhere to be found.
So what's the message for Nigerians as we
should live in peace with one another.
Thank you very much. Well, we've been speaking with Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, member of the House of Representatives and Chairman House Committee on Navy. He represents Pankshin, Kanke, Kanam Federal Constituency of Plateau State.